Go ahead.
I was going to say, that's probably my favorite part in the whole album is the part where he's like, I drive a coupe, you notice the latest, selling cocaine, just like the 80s. I caught me a body and I'm on vacation, just like my dick, I'm on vacation, just like my dick. Yeah, I don't even know what he says, but so it's just...
Yeah, my dick hole while I'm on PlayStation.
I'm riding a demon, I feel like I'm saying...
That's my favorite part.
I'm riding a demon, I feel like I'm
saying... I'm riding a demon, I feel like I'm saying...
I'm fucking these bitches, I'm fucking these bitches. Just like...
A puppy, a molly, and I'm so big. Yeah. I mean, people in time, the scribes in time will understand why that's a 10 out of 10 album. Like, it's from 3,000 years ahead of time. And it's okay. You're just gonna have to continue your journey of being an unawoken child lord. That's a new word I just came up with. Child lord. You're a lord of being a child.
It's like trying to explain to three-dimensional beings what the fourth dimension is. What us trying to explain why this album's good.
Yeah, we're speaking in like a Sumerian, like alien language, and they're just like, like for 100 gex sucks. Like those, like those type of people. They're just like, yeah, I like have a negative opinion about 100 gex. Like, I'm really just a chill person. I mean, that's how I feel. That's just how I feel. But yeah, man. I'm ready to demon. I feel like I'm seeing. Like, you will never. It's now one of the like, it's like 12%. It's become now like a 12% like likelihood every episode that we're going to do or talk about this. Absolutely. But it's true. Like, I really look back and I'm like, man, was the mixing, could it have been like fatter? You know, in like the last 30 years of production, have we heard things that sound a little bit like fatter? But it's like asking why a painter painted it with a light amount of paint. You know what I'm saying? Or something like that. Like, it's an artistic choice, obviously. Probably Kanye West's artistic choice. He kind of like is doing, I think, or thinks he's doing the Picasso thing of like, oh, I'm like a master of the classical, style. So now I can be a master of the abstract by making these things mixed these way. But in this album alone, it hasn't waned in its quality. I've looked back and really like looked in the mirror, like, did I overrate this album? Maybe. And I'm like, I know almost every word to it. So there's no way.
Right. Every bar is a quote.
Every single fucking line is good.
It's just super consistent too. Like, there's no like, lulls in the track list, in my opinion. Like, I can just rip it through if need be, and yeah, I mean, and just
because they kind of all offer. There's definitely favorites, but they all kind of offer the same, the same vibe. There you go. Yeah, folks.
No, it's like there are ones that I will go to like when I'm in the car, like Beano, Slayer, I Love You, I Hate You.
Those are like definitely ones, like that. And Die for Guy. Die for Guy is an underrated one.
Really, a lot of the ones that just kind of get to the point a little quicker. X, Teen X, Vamp Anthem.
The one where it was like, I forget like what the main chorus of it is. Where it was like, I can't fuck with anybody at all. Listen to the name of the song. And it's like, what's the fucking, how does the chorus of that go?
Oh, that's not the chorus? You said that was the chorus.
No, I forget. But it's the song where he talks about Uzi and Offset beefing.
Oh, yeah. Oh, were they beefing?
Yeah, Lil TJ was my shooter, but they turned that boy against me.
Who's TJ?
Lil TJ is another rapper.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying that was like one of the Offset or Uzi.
He's like, I thought I had Pierre, but the label tricked me.
Wait, isn't Pierre on the album?
He has some songs on it, but he didn't produce the album like he produced Die Lit.
Oh, I got you. Well,
but he showed up. He just showed up artistically. I thought, like, he really made such an interesting and re-listenable project to me. So
Yeah, and people that...
Hey, Tony, shut the fuck up real quick.
That is really... Okay, yeah.
Wait, go ahead.
No.
I didn't mean to actually shut you up.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I think people that like hate on the album, which a lot of my friends are those people, I think they just take shit too seriously, right? They take the music too seriously, and like
people need to uncoil their sphincters and just take things for what they are.
The album is about going dumb, and he
feels like Morpheus
having fun. Yeah.
I got my whole gang on some other shit.
Yeah, it's just
like metamorphosis. Like it's like a fucking like late 70s punk album almost in a way, but also mixed with like a SoundCloud mixtape sound. Like it's crazy.
Right. Just like not adhering to anyone's expectations of like what like a good rap song should be or whatever.
Yeah.
They're all like super short, or and they have different structures. They open and close with a hook with just a verse in between, or there'll be longer ones on it. And
like, by the way, I don't think you got to remind me to shut me. You got to shut me up next.
Okay. I'll keep an eye on it. Won't let it get too late.
I think personally that like, did he overly concern himself with the maybe sequencing of the album or the overall like, but he still managed to create such an interesting concept album. Like he's not fucking Stevie Wonder. Okay. Mm-hmm. But that's not what you're asking for from him. And that's not what he's always given us. What he's always given us is an intangible, which is a feeling. It's his personality. It comes through in every part of the style. He is a fully expressed person to me in everything. And like he's authentic. Mm-hmm. He and Uzi have had staying power because they're not clout rappers. They're not image Instagram rappers. They're actually people, and they're actually interesting, and their style is actually interesting. And there's a reason they have such a big audience. So even though he maybe didn't be like, all right, what am I going to put between these two? Like he let a producer come in there and do it. Still, it's just so interesting how far above what like anyone puts out from a style standpoint.
Agreed. Yeah. What was I going to
I think it's better than Uzi's album from that year, too.
Oh,
wait, Tony, now you should shut the fuck up. Because you forgot what you were going to say.
I actually did forget. It was something about Uzi, though. I mean, about Cardi and Uzi.
If you think of it, write it down, and please bring it up right after I remember what
I'm going to do the digging.
Oh, that's what I forgot. I forgot to introduce the podcast.
Yeah. I forgot to remind you. Yeah. So get to that while I think.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it is Monday, May 31st, the last day of May, 2021. All right? Welcome to another episode of your favorite podcast, Woke and Boke. Boom!
Skra.
Skra. Gratata.
Skra.
Episode 87 to be exact. I am he and he is me, Connor Boyd, your host of Woke and Boke. Really one of three, 1/3 of Woke and Boke. It's really not I'm the host. It's more so we're a holy triumvirate. I'm usually joined by two best friends today, only one. Tony is from the great gateway to the West, like I am St. Louis, Missouri. Joining me, as I said, Tony Harrop, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey.
Usually we have Max Sansa here as well, but Max is a working man. I need to get guests on the show also.
We used to so much.
I know we used to
crazy.
All the time, and I feel like it's just the video portion that's maybe.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, I mean, not everyone's like cool with being on video for one. Like, you can't just assume they're going to want to do.
We've been trying to get criminals to get on the show to reveal their faces and talk about their crimes, and it's not going very well.
Yeah, some really nicely. Yeah, we like had guests up through like the 60s, right? Or no, maybe even less than that.
I think 60 was like the episode we did right when we got to St. Louis for Thanksgiving.
Was it really?
I think so. I think it was episode 60 and 61. Those are very good episodes, folks. If you want to check those out. But hey, listen, you fucking asshole. This is what the show is. You know, we've known each other for a long time, man. We've known each other for about 27 years. And no, more like when did I meet you, Tony? Probably 3, maybe less than that. Probably
well, I mean, our parents knew each other before that, so I'm sure we met each other. Met each other.
They had to have had a lunch the first year of both of our births. That's probably true.
I'm assuming, yeah, that she brought you, or I was brought to your house, or vice versa, and we laid on the floor or in like a little swaddle.
Wait, what?
Toys.
Say that again.
I'm sure that either your
I thought you were about to regale us with a real story.
No. I mean, but there's literally pictures of us like sitting on the same house that my parents still live in, and you're like laying back in your older sister's lap, but you're like bigger than her, but you're still like a baby. Like you don't walk yet. You know, you're clearly very, very like. But you're
it's just clear I'm going to grow larger than her quickly.
Yeah, which is crazy because I was so much smaller than you, and then I got bigger than you, and then that stopped right quick. So
it stopped right away, sir.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've known Tony for a long time. We've known Max since we were both children, and yeah, that's what we do, man. We get together. We chill and we chillax. If I were to really be honest about what we do, that would be the 2 major categories. We do this every Monday. Come through, hang out, watch it, listen to it. It's also on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. We got a Twitter, Welcome Boke Pod. We got an Instagram, Welcome Boke Podcast. We got those are the ats, by the way. We got a Discord. All this shit's in the bio. Fucking feel free to check it out. Yeah, man. We here. Dude,
You know?
That the last 6 minutes of that show. Oh my god, bro. It's like Game of Thrones. It's literally like Game of Thrones. Oh my god. That shit's crazy. Crazy.
They are signed on for seasons 2 and 3 as well. So,
ooh, wow! I love how I'm hype about that. I've only seen 1 episode. Is the whole show that good?
Yeah, I mean that first scene might be the craziest scene until the last episode, but everything in between is still also good. Like,
dude, I mean, the internet damn near spoils anything, man. Like,
what did you see?
Nothing, but I mean, like, I understand he's punching. If you're listening to this, I understand he's punching his own son. I get that, and it's like against a mountain. He's like beating the shit out of him. So, I mean, that's just like spoiled. So, whatever.
I mean, you never know. That could be, a flash forward. It could be a vision of possible reality.
Why say anything? Why even tell me what it could be?
I'm just saying, like, don't just assume like what the story is, because it could be something totally different, but it could also not. But it probably is. Maybe not, though.
It could be totally different.
But it's pretty cool, though. There's like a lot of different plot lines that are going on, and they're like setting up multiple plot lines for the coming seasons, too. Like, literally something happens, like maybe episode 4 or 5, and nothing happens again for the rest of the season until like the very end of the last episode. They're showing all the unresolved plot lines.
Motherfucker's really giving me silhouettes of spoilers right now. He's just like, keep an eye out because something that happens in episode 4 happens at the very last scene of the last episode. So make sure you're prepared for that, even though you're definitely going to watch the show anyways.
I'm just trying to get you hype. I don't want people to think it's boring. I don't know. People just cast off like superhero stuff now because it's so oversaturated.
Very much so.
On all the streaming services, they have their own show now, and I get it if people are sick of it. But as someone that has been like a lifelong superhero person, this is just like
same. I've been into superheroes since Spider-Man for sure.
Yeah,
Spider-Man is what got me into superheroes. That movie,
dude. I
got
into
the big Spider-Man book. We talked about this before.
Even before that, though, like my dad would. I mean, well, he had his own collection of like he has Fantastic Four #1. You know, like that's
folks. Do you hear that?
Yeah, you hear that? 1961, mint condition. Fantastic Four #1. But he like, you know, what do you call that? Inundated. He basically forced the lore of Marvel upon me as a child. Now forever I am.
I mean, I have
knowledge.
A similar situation, but it's with classic rock knowledge. Basically, is my dad's love of music was forced upon all of us, but in a loving and embraced way for sure.
But
I know a lot about classic rock. I know every story there is.
But I fucking, what was I gonna say? Well, I bought a fucking what do you call it? The Marvel Unlimited subscription, and I've just been ripping through comics like for the past few weeks.
Really?
Yeah, finally, like after feels like a 10-year hiatus of not reading, I'm like back into it, and I'm like, holy shit, these stories are better than like what's happening on TV and stuff. Like, I don't know. It just, I forgot how good comics can be, and the art now is just like ridiculous.
No, that's the thing, is the comic stories are always better than any of the runoff media. Like, so and it's also like nice because you're not having like some cringe Disney actor like deliver the lines.
And like,
I'm on my way. That was close. Like,
I'm coming in.
I'm coming in. That's exactly how he says it.
Literally,
one of my thrusters is on fire. I'm coming in. It feels like it's somebody else's. The shield.
But I've just been fucking like reading through some origin stories and getting caught up and stuff. But it's getting me pretty hyped for what they're bringing into the MCU, because they're going to bring in the Fantastic Four, and they're going to bring in their son, Franklin, who's literally like the peak of human evolution. He's a god. He can create new... Franklin.
His name's fucking, what is it, Franklin Stretch? What's his fucking name?
Franklin Richards.
Franklin Richards. He was just drunk. Stan Lee was just drunk that day at the comic book shop. He's like, this guy's name is Stan Stretch, and he stretches. Like, really? You don't want to name him like
something
like
cool?
Frank Reynolds or whatever the fuck his name is? Frank Richards? Yeah.
He's not the stretchy one. He's their son, but he literally...
No, I know, but he's like, he's Invisigirl's, right? Him and Invisigirl's son, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
It's not like the Fantastic Four all bukkakied onto one egg and they made a 4-way beast. But just the fact is, I'm Franklin Reynolds. Nice. I'm the most powerful demigod man.
Richards.
Yeah. Frank Richards. Okay. Franklin Richards.
Franklin Richards, yes. But he literally is like, you know, the fucking giant ass head they go to in Guardians of the Galaxy? It's called Nowhere. That's a head, the floating head of a celestial, which are these godlike beings, and they basically created humans. They created the Kree, the Skrull, all that, and they just wanted to see how much they could evolve, and then so eventually humans did evolve, like mutants. Frank Richards is a mutant. He's the son of the Fantastic Four, Mr. Fantastic and the Invisible Woman, but he's born and he's just a kid, but he has the power to create new universes. So that's literally like what I think is going to happen in this new shit.
You hear what these kids are doing out there? They're creating new universes.
Yeah.
There's fentanyl going around the city, and we got kids running around out there creating new universes. I'm just trying to keep New York safe, New York clean off the streets. This kid's out there creating all kinds of... They're creating a whole universe that looks like Newark. Fucking 8 light years of space. A total new universe. I'm trying to keep fentanyl off the streets. That's kind of crazy, though.
It's like nutty. Like how, like, I don't know. It's just gonna be some mind bending shit.
Nutty.
Like literally, like those comics I was reading, just like through some of the important shit, and I'm like, damn, these fucking comic writers are like getting at the fucking core of like what is existence, like what's the purpose of it, like that kind of shit, just existentialism. That's what like Marvel gets to, and people just think of it as like, I don't know, this goofy like because the costumes are goofy as shit when it starts out in the 60s and stuff like that. But
you, Tony, here's the thing. You should never. You don't want to be one of those guys that's like, why doesn't anyone take comic books seriously? Like, they're too popular to do that. I totally feel you, and that's not what you're doing. But I'm saying never get to that point where you're like, people just think this is goofy kid stuff. This is asking existential questions. Like, you know what I'm saying? like, yeah, but also like, people have had this shit shoved down their fucking throats for. I think that's why people don't take it seriously.
Well, because of the movies,
I don't even know if that's true. That people don't take. I think people know that comics are cool, but the fucking movies that are just like Disney, like children's films, they're shoved down people's throats, and those movies are treated as like high artistic achievements too much. The comics, I think, are a little underrated. Yes, absolutely. I think they are underrated. I think, but hip motherfuckers know that. Comic books, there's some very, very good comic books and graphic novels out there. Very good.
I finally read, remember when I came to visit you in 2015 in Boston? And I went to this sick comic book store and I bought like 4 Batman graphic novels, or 5 maybe. And I read one like back then and I hadn't read the rest of them. And then I just busted them out and started reading them recently, and I was like, damn, I miss comics. And that's when I got the Marvel subscription, and now I've just been ripping through that. And
dude, I was reading Fantastic. I had Marvel Unlimited. I was reading Fantastic Four from original Fantastic Four from like 1 on. I think I got to like in the 30s.
Nice.
Yeah, dude, that shit's interesting as fuck. Like, because you actually can get into the story that way.
Yeah, no, and the way that they can like I've been reading just some origin story ones and stuff, so it's really just basic stories. But even then, like, just the way, especially with Marvel Unlimited, you can do it like panel by panel, and it'll like zoom in, like, and so you don't see what's on the next page, and so it's almost like watching a cartoon, and you just arrow over.
I need to do that because I was reading it like pinch and move style.
Oh no, dude, you got to do it with the they call it smart panel, and it literally like will.
I've done that before. It's pretty clean when you do that.
Yeah,
I just feel like I'm missing out on like how the shit hits off of each other when I do that.
Sometimes I will look at the full panel afterwards, but like most of the time it makes a lot of sense. And a lot of times I will zoom out afterwards after they show you one by one each part of the page. But I've just been enjoying it more than watching shows recently. I'm like, damn, these stories are better, and it's funny too. They have jokes and the shit, and it's not like cringy like like fucking Spider-Man. Like
just remembering that comic books exist, like dude,
just like damn.
And they have jokes in there. Those too. They're doing jokes over there.
Literally,
you watch TV and they're making jokes, and they have good story. You go over here, they have better stories. And they have also jokes.
Better jokes and better stories. No. Good stuff, man. Though.
Yeah. I've never really like stuck with comics. It's always an on and off thing for me. I'll read some, I'll stop, like graphic novels. I mean, I'm just trying to read more in general.
I tried to do that, and I was like, I can't keep my mind from wandering. But with the visual stim, that Stimmy with the comics,
we're gonna give you a visual Stimmy. It's going to be an 800-page Ultimate Spider-Man comic book. You're going to read the Frank Miller RoboCop from cover to cover.
Nice Vigi Stimmy.
We're calling it a Vigi Stimmy. And if that doesn't stimulate you, then you need to get a job. We're sending a visual Stimmy. It's a picture of a pussy. And we're going to send it to everybody, even women and children, because that should stimulate you. Yeah.
Oh man,
that's it. That's true.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, this fucking Invincible show looks like it's tight. I've also been watching Berserk, the original Berserk show from '97, which, if you like comics, you should definitely read the Berserk manga. You should get into manga, period, because manga is very good. Death Note is another good one.
Reading from right to left?
Yes, Tony. Reading literally just the reverse. Reading right to left. You just had a fucking. It's called Panel Plus. It hides the other.
Is there a manga Marvel Unlimited?
Probably. I'm sure if there's Marvel Unlimited, then yes, manga, the most popular thing in the fucking world, probably has that too. Somewhere. Yeah. But
I used to read Yu-Gi-Oh manga growing up. A little bit of that.
Did you hear that, folks? Did you hear how much of a fucking nerd he is? He just admitted that. He just said that out loud. No, I read some early DBZ, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I've read some Death Note.
Berserk.
The creator died recently.
I'm thinking of that.
And one of my friends loves it. And I was like trying to check it out. Obviously before the guy died, but alas, I'm just one of those guys who gets into something after the person dies.
I'm trying to think. There's literally a band that I'm into. It's like a deathcore band, but they are named after that show, and everything they write is about that show. So that's kind of neat. Brand of Sacrifice. That's what it is.
Brand of Sacrifice.
That's
probably what the brand on his neck is then.
Yeah, Brandy Seki. Yeah.
The Brandy Seki. You got the Brandy Seki.
The Brandy Sticky.
But yeah, don't tell me any songs about that show because you just spoiled what the name of that shit is. So thank you.
Oh, well, shit.
See how Tony just fucking spoils everything.
How far are you into it?
About 7, 8 eps. 8 eps.
Dude, my coworker's been telling me that I need to watch this show, Gangs of London. Have you heard of it?
No. Also, real quick, before you get into that, is that Army of Dead show on Netflix going to be good? Isn't that Zack Snyder?
I'm thinking of the new fucking. I thought you were talking about the new Batista movie. What is it fucking called? It's like a zombie movie that is on Netflix. I didn't know.
Wait, I think that's what it is.
Oh.
Dead Army or some shit. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that's just a movie though.
Yeah, a movie. It's not a show.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
what's that movie?
I haven't seen it. I heard some coworkers talking about it.
Most normal person in the fucking world I'm talking to right now. I love Tony. I just heard some regular folks down by the water cooler talking about it. At my normal job, I was sipping coffee, and Netflix, a new Netflix movie that might pique our interest. I overheard two people saying, "Have you seen the newest Netflix film? Have you consumed it?" Sorry, but go ahead. The show you were watching.
I haven't watched it, but because it's on fucking AMC, however you watch that. But it's called Gangs of London, and apparently it has better action than John Wick, he claims. So I don't know.
Oh fuck! Wait, Gangs of London? That's crazy. Yeah. Honestly, I'm such a dumb idiot. You just sold me on it with just that. Says the choreography's better than John Wick. Some guy I know said that about it. And I'm like, fuck, all right, let me look into that. Like, I'm such an idiot, bro. It's like, wow.
He was really hyping it up. Like, he's like, dude, you need to watch it. It's like some of the most insane action I've ever seen. And he's a filmographer. So he's our film guy at our job. Oh. So it's kind of his field. And he's just
does he have a degree in the film arts?
He does, yes.
Wrong.
Oh.
He doesn't. No, he doesn't.
My bad. Sorry.
No one can. It's not allowed. But,
isn't that what you have?
What?
Isn't that what you have?
No, I have a degree in penis enhancement philosophy. Anyways.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I got my first shot 2 nights ago, and I didn't go to work yesterday.
Did you say sorry? Were you like sorry?
I said sorry because I'm getting to it. I'm just like feel like I'm low energy, and that was just because
that face. I feel like I'm low energy. That's how your face looks when we take acid. It's just like melts into like you look like a totem pole or some shit. You look crazy.
But yeah, that's all. I'm still like feel like I'm really tired from it. You know, like all day at work, I was just like.
Dude, it did nothing to me. That's why I'm worried I didn't get like an actual dose. It did nothing.
Just put water
to me.
in you.
It just like the first shot hurt my arm a little bit. The second shot didn't even hurt my arm for more than like 30 minutes, and I didn't feel anything the next day or the day of.
My arm was hell sore yesterday. Like moving my arm up like this, I was like, "Oh my god!"
What the fuck? I mean, I had that originally, but like, I don't know. Maybe it's like what? What happened to me? Do I have good immune system? Is that what's going on?
I mean, I can't remember who else was saying it. One of my coworkers was saying they didn't feel anything from it either. So that's what I was expecting. But it's not like I feel terrible. But man, I'm just like, I just don't have any energy. I drank this too right before fucking we recorded, and I'm still like.
Did you dab though?
Yeah.
Probably why you don't have energy. I mean, you would have
That's
more.
Not true. That's just not true. It's just not true.
That's not true. I'm an upstarter. I'm a self motivator.
I dab all the time, and I'm never tired. But now right now I am.
I wish I had filled a water bottle before this episode.
Yeah, I'm thirsty as hell too.
I'm gonna get a water bottle and just cut it. Okay. Yeah,
dude. Do you know what what comes out next month or in a few days? I think.
No.
That young Ricky Morty.
What?
Here?
What? That shit comes back?
Yeah, it's gonna be on HBO.
Fuck. In a couple days, yeah. Sunday?
In June. Like mid-June.
Oh man.
Yeah. Dude, it's funny because like I'm now realizing all the stuff that they take from that they got from Fantastic Four, like the Council of Ricks is just they took the Council of Reeds, like that's a thing. Like Mr. Fantastic, he's pretty much the same character as Rick, except he's not like a drunk.
Wait, that's crazy.
Yeah. Like they do all the same shit. Go to all different realities.
He's like a god scientist.
Pretty much, yeah. He's literally like for example, Galactus, the bad guy. He's the last survivor from the previous universe that died, and then the Big Bang happened, and then he was in this universe. And
that's crazy. Wait,
and he respects Reed Richards. Like he normally
so Galactus is the end point of the Marvel universe. Nothing gets past it, at least in the last one.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What was the last universe? Like Earth 3, 4. What was it called?
It was like I watched this video about it. I forget what number it would be, but like heroes and stuff did exist in that one too. But that was forever ago, and then that universe literally died, and then a new Big Bang happened, and then all the stories that we know happen on 616.
Right.
But that's another thing.
And 616 is the one that got destroyed by Galactus. You're saying?
No. Galactus 616 is the one right now that the current Reed lives on that fends off Galactus. And it's insane because he's literally a human who should just be a fleck of dust to this thing that eats planets. But he's so smart that he, figured a way to stop Galactus. So he actually is like, it's just crazy to think about like something from literally a universe ago, like acknowledges a human not only but like respects him and fears him a little bit.
That's fucking insane.
And then that man has a son who then becomes a god. So it's like I don't know. I'm just like thinking of all the lore of all the different franchises, Star
Frank
Wars, all
Richards,
that. What'd you say?
So the Frank Richards that fucks him up is the son of the original Mr. Fantastic?
No. He's son of the one of 616 Fantastic, Mr. Fantastic.
Okay, so Mr. Fantastic's son is also named Frank Richards.
Mr. Fantastic's name is Reed Richards. His son's name is Frank. Yeah, Reed. And then his son's name is Franklin.
Gotcha. I'm trying. Sorry, I got my phone. I'm trying to find this comic book guy on TikTok. Makes great videos.
Oh, you should send me him. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, like the most overrated or like the worst screen out. Like he goes into like how like characters are like underpowered in the movies.
Yeah.
Like Drax the Destroyer.
See, that's like stuff that I feel like I could go into, Like it's cool that he's making that kind of content on TikTok. It just goes to show that you can literally talk about anything on TikTok if you or make stuff about anything on TikTok. There's a niche for everything.
It's so funny going through the people I follow because it's like so many of these people I don't see their videos anymore. And it's like you have to go viral even for your own followers to see your videos. It's really crazy.
Yeah, it doesn't really make any sense. But I mean, same with Instagram. It's like if I want to see some like, you know, some artist stuff, I'm just going to go to their page. Like I don't usually scroll through my feed, you know?
I'm trying to find this dude. His shit's awesome, honestly. He's one of my favorite guys out there. But yeah, man.
Yeah, I was saying that just like thinking about all the lore of like Star Wars, DC, Star Trek, all those, like I feel like they all pale in comparison to Marvel because it's just like the ultimate, like, I don't know, it has like the whole galactic aspect of it with all these different, and it literally goes all the way to, you know, the birth and death of universes and all that kind of stuff. And
it's deep.
Yeah. It's just like, sheesh. And it's literally all one, it's all one continuous thing starting in 1961 till now. It's one continuous timeline. Whereas DC, it's like, it just feels like all over the place. Like you have no idea. You kind of just got to read them as individual stories, you know?
DC's also just so old too.
DC's also very top heavy, you know? It's like people don't care that much beyond
Batman,
the members of the Justice League.
Right.
Pretty much. Because like Green Lantern's really popular, Flash as well, you know? They had the two biggest DC events, you know, the Flashpoint and the Brightest Day, Darkest Night stuff are based off them, right? So, and then the big three like Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman. But beyond that, it's just like kind of, you know, not as popular. Whereas Marvel, they just have like 30 huge characters.
All right, I guess I'll find this guy later. I thought it would be easier, but I literally can't find his ass. Wait, is that him? No? Alright, fuck it, bro. Who cares? I'll find him when I find him, I'll send him to you. He's great. I mean, he just does all these great TikTok videos about like, I don't know, lore and shit like that.
I was listening when I was at work earlier to this video. It was like the 5 X-Men that got worst, like that Fox got the worst. And it was like, Jean Grey, Cyclops, etc. Because they made Cyclops just like a bitch, you know? Mm-hmm. In those Fox movies, he was like the worst character. And he's supposed to be the fucking coolest character, you know? He's supposed to be the leader of the team. And they just made him this cardigan wearing like...
Of the Justice League? No,
Cyclops in the X-Men movies.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
That when Fox made those movies, they just made him like a bitch, you know? Mm-hmm. They basically made it, they made it so you rooted for Hugh Jackman to get with Jean Grey, you know, Wolverine. Like, he was the main character, and they made Cyclops, like, you know, this snooty,
the like, foil.
Dick, yeah. And you rooted against him, pretty much. But, like yeah, Snape. They butchered a lot of characters. So I'm just really excited for Disney to do the characters justice, hopefully, because, you know, they don't hit a home run every time with all their movies, but they're at least like, you know, I mean, because of how much money they have, they're of a certain standard to where it's not just like looking back on those movies, they're pretty dated too.
Which ones? The MCU ones?
No, the Fox ones.
Oh yeah, of course.
I mean, the first two are still pretty cool though.
They were like peak practical action effects.
Yeah, for sure. And Marvel, yeah, that's the thing about Marvel is more often than not, their CGI is strong enough to where it doesn't look like shit, you know?
Yeah.
Not all the time though.
Yeah, of course. Remember sometimes, Wolverine Origins?
Well, that was Fox still, you know, Fox. Yeah.
But that was like good special effects. The practical special effects were good in that. Mm-hmm. Like him slicing that car and then just blowing it up.
There's one scene in that where he's like in a bathroom looking at his claws, and it looks like fucking CGI from I don't. What's that one? What's that one character? It's like green goo that floats around. From the 90s,
like Ghostbuster.
No, I forget what it's called.
Green
but
goo
just some Spy Kids level CGI. And he's just got the claws, and he's like, "Whoa!" And I'm like, that."
Oh, and they look like they're made out of Halloween toys.
Yeah,
yeah, I remember that part. He's like, "Whoa!"
He like cuts a sink, like faucet. And it's like, that's bad.
Should I watch Logan? Is that good?
Logan, yeah, that's really good.
Is it like a good Wolverine movie, like action wise?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's like sad. It's like a heavy movie. It's probably the best. It's probably the best Fox X-Men movie, besides maybe like First Class is decent. Are they
going to make an X-Men movie, Marvel X-Men movie? That's what I want. I don't give the X-Men story is so much more interesting than this Eternals bullshit to me.
Yeah, well, they're taking. They're gonna. They have to like consider how they're going to introduce all these characters. Like an entire race of characters, and the Eternals have a lot to do with that. So like basically Eternals are human in nature. They're basically basically that floating head. So that's a celestial, right? They created humans, Kree, Skrulls. When they created each of those races, they created normal versions.
Hey, Tony, humans. I don't mind talking about this. Like, talking about comics. I can't tell if you're like, I'm sorry, I'm talking about this too much, or if you're tired of talking about it.
It's just like so much that I'm trying not to ramble on about it, but just try and be very concise to.
Ramble on.
Okay. So that giant head, right? It's the Celestials. They created humans, Kree, Skrulls. When they created those three, they created like normals, like you and me. Then they created Eternals, which are like basically super powered versions of humans.
Okay, the Celestials created the Eternals,
and they're like peak mutants. They have like
Eternals.
They have like all have telepathy. I'm pretty sure telekinesis. They're all just like pretty much god tier, mutant. Yeah. Demigod type, but they're human in nature. And then there's deviants, which are basically the opposite. They're just like deformed Eternals, but they have powers too. And Thanos is like a hybrid of those.
That's cool.
If that gives
you a hybrid of Eternals
and deviants. So Thanos
deviants are like peak mutants, you're saying?
So there's us in the middle, and then there's Eternals and deviants. They're both like super powered.
What differentiates those two?
The deviants are just like they're deformed, like ugly Eternals, basically.
Oh, so they're just bad Eternals, basically.
Yeah, just bad Eternals, way to think of it. And Thanos is a hybrid of those. He's like super gross looking to them.
Gotcha. But he is an Eternal.
Yeah, and I'm still learning a lot about this stuff. I kind of been like just brushing up on all that because like the Eternals trailer came out, and I was like, man, okay, what is this even about? But in humans, the Celestials planted the potential for endless genetic growth or genetic evolution, and that's how mutants came about, right? So that's what's supposed to happen. And then finally, the ultimate mutant is born. It's Franklin Richards, and he is a god on the same level.
Sorry, what was it? What was supposed to come out? You said come about?
That was supposed to come about. They created the normal humans without any powers, but with potential for like genetic evolution. And
so that was supposed to happen.
Yeah, and then finally, it culminated with Franklin Richards, who is a god that can literally create universes like the Celestials, who created humans in the first place.
So he's the ultimate. He's
peak human evolution. He's a god. So
it's kind of saying that humans are gods.
Humans can become gods. Yeah. In a way, we can already with AI create life potentially when we figure that out eventually.
I think that I believe in like if we really did have. If we were tapped in with our minds enough, I think our minds can actually telekinesis and telepathy could be real.
Right. It's all hypothetically possible, right? Like just the idea of all this just being a thought in someone's head, Like that's what that story, what that gets into,
I think like you could channel energy through your mind and body.
Yeah, no, there's like I was listening to some videos and this chick that was talking, and it was like there's like religions and theories out there that the universe is a creation of everyone's combined like just psychic presence, like it's like a simulation, but like naturally, I don't know, it's weird, but it's just like that's basically what is implied in these comics, is like everything can just be a dream inside of Franklin Richards' head, because he does create in the comics. He literally creates a new Marvel universe, and they relaunch a bunch of their titles in that universe, but it all goes terribly. Like in real life, the sales are bad, so they cancel that and write it so that he pulls those heroes back out into the regular universe, and it keeps on going. So
say that last part one more time. You're blowing my mind, right?
So in the comics, right, in the 90s, comics were like hitting an all-time low. The X-Men and Spider-Man were still really popular, but everything else from Marvel was failing. Avengers, Iron Man, Captain America. So they have this event, which basically kills off all of those failing titles. But they write it that it's Franklin Richards, who is the ultimate mutant human that can create universes. He put them all in a pocket dimension, and they used that as like a relaunch for those titles. But it all went terribly because it was just poorly written, and it's like the era in the 90s where everyone is just like yeah, just insanely jacked, like pouches everywhere, right? And like so they all get canceled, like those comic runs, and Franklin Richards brings them all back. And they just continue on in the regular.
I love that era of comics where everyone was just like a fuck. Like when it was kind of that era when what's his face, the guy who hunts mutants, the guy with the silver hair, buff guy with the guns.
Oh, Cable.
Cable. That was like when Cable got introduced. Like Cable when he showed up and with Deadpool too.
I've realized that like I'm trying to read through a lot of like the Marvel stuff, but I'm like I'm gonna have to do X-Men separately because like shit that happened in the 90s, like there is so much shit that happened. But I want to read it all because it just seems like such interesting stories. What was I saying? Oh yeah, but so they had to figure out like which of those stories they're gonna tell in the MCU, because they could do so much with it, and they bought that IP from Fox. And they're going to make money off of it. Like they're not going to, going to take notes from everything that Fox did and be like, none of that. How about? And they're going to do it just right from square one.
I got to be honest. Like you can shit on the Marvel people, but I still have so much trust that they're going to do good, at least bare minimum, pretty good shit with the X-Men stuff.
Yeah. Me too.
I also think that a studio that pumps out movies this frequently learns how to make them better, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying they definitely, like, they learn their lessons or, like, learn from their failures, because none of the movies really tank. They might have soft numbers, but, like, none of them really tank.
Right. They make a profit.
Every time. They make money every time. Yeah.
Honestly, though, I feel like an X-Men series would be better, like on Disney Plus, but I would want to see higher production value than what I've seen on WandaVision and
I can't.
Those are both good. Like I enjoyed both shows. They had their flaws, but they were enjoyable. But they do it would need to be movie quality for it to be worth it. But there's just so much story to tell with those characters. So.
Yeah, man.
And same with the Fantastic Four. So, like, they're going to introduce them, I think, with Franklin already born. And when he's introduced, it's just anything's in play. That's why they can bring in, Toby and Garfield, that multiverse
That's so
shit.
Fucking stupid. It's
going to be tight.
I'm not looking forward to
You're going to like it. You're going to like it.
You're gonna like 3 Spider-Men. I guarantee it. 3 Spider-Men on screen at once. You're gonna like it.
Yeah, I actually don't know what I think about that because it's like, okay, what are they saying that Peter Parker like just looks completely different in 3 different realities, and I don't know. I guess it's I don't know. 3 different 8. Yeah, I don't know.
It's like in some Spider-Verse shit.
But they're not even like different. Like in the in the animated movie, which was sick. None of them are Peter Parker except for the one. One's Miles Morales. One's like the pig. One's like the detective one.
Right.
One's like a Asian girl. So it's like, but this one, they're all Peter Parker, but just vastly different looking ones. So it will be interesting to see what is up with that.
Yeah, man. That's a trip. Spider-Man.
Yeah, no.
I hope you guys liked this comic book episode. By the way, if you're still listening, you know we like comic books over here. You know, we don't usually talk about it this much, but
it's what's on my mind.
Lo and behold, Tony got back into comics, and I love hearing Tony talk about comics. So it is what it is.
God damn. I'm really fucking stoked for Doctor Strange 2, which comes out next spring, I think, because it's going to be literally it's a Sam Raimi
horror movie.
And it's a horror movie.
You said this so many times.
Did we?
Dude, I can't wait for Doctor Strange. You've been saying this since like fucking last fall. You're like, dude, I can't wait for Doctor Strange 2022 horror movie, dude. Doctor Strange horror movie. Can you imagine taking that on some dirt acid, just like being horrified?
Yeah. Man, yeah. And I probably also have mentioned that when I saw Doctor Strange 1 in theaters, I took acid to see that, which was sick, to say the least, because that movie is trippy. You said you haven't seen that yet, right?
I've seen about the first 40 minutes, I think.
Damn, dude, you're missing out on most of Tilda Swinton's performance.
Oh no! I wish
she
was so good in Endgame. Just be like, "You're the Hulk, and I have to touch you because I'm bald." Like that shit was boring.
Fucking when Peter Dinklage showed up.
Oh wait, he shows up in Doctor Strange.
No, in
my god,
Endgame. And you were like, oh my god.
Just watching it the first time, like, dude, are you kidding me? It just doesn't. It doesn't get much better than that.
Yeah,
just the Dinklage getting on stage while you're on fucking 2 tabs. Like you have to turn the book. Like just the shittiest. Dude, I'm sorry. How does he get away with doing that bad of an accent? Honestly.
Yeah.
Like you're a TV actor, and you're like seriously like, no, I can definitely do that. Like I don't know what he does.
Well, I just don't know why they
open the forge. It's like such a flat.
Well, it was also just a weird thing to do, to just take a little person and then just make them big instead of it being like, you know, more like Gimli but huge.
It's just I've never seen that done before ever. Just a little person being blown up to like Godzilla size. It's just something I was not prepared for.
That's what I'm saying. It's like it could have been like Gimli if he was that size. Like that'd be sick, you know. Be like, holy
if it was
shit,
like a short guy who's big, but it's like a little person. Like it's like
right where his hand is like, you know, as big as his forearm.
It's not that. That is not true, Tony. His hand is not as big as his forearm. Is that true? I thought you meant his whole arm. Like he just had a hot dog with hands coming out.
His proportions are you know, exaggerated.
Yeah.
You feel me?
You feel me?
He's just like, yeah. It doesn't look real.
You know, it's quite an effect. It's like, wow.
Yeah, it's like super jarring.
It's jarring. Yeah.
Jarring to say the least.
And then he also has this shaggy, huge head of hair. He's like, oh no, we have to make the legendary sword.
He's like, get the handle.
Yeah,
like
close it. Just dude, he was in Game of Thrones. He's like, so the queen's going to send her ships to the island of just didn't even sound like that.
That's what I do. I drink and I know things.
Yeah, I drink and I know things. Put that on a t-shirt for every engineer to wear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a new Game of Thrones spin-off show.
Fuck that.
I don't even know if
I don't even know how I feel about this Lord of the Rings show. I just feel like you can't touch the P.D. Jackson sauce. Just don't even try. You fucking loser.
So is it going to be like a season per book?
I don't know what it's going to be. I don't know what it's going to be.
I don't know what it's going to be.
I hope it's long. I hope it's 6 seasons.
I would think a season per book would be sufficient.
I hope it tells the whole story, though. You could do that.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying.
Make it like a Game of Thrones app.
At least 6 episodes, 6 to 12 episodes would be one book, I feel like, is sufficient, right?
If it was an hour long, 12 to 15 episodes.
15 is big.
Well, it's the audio book for the Fellowship is 19 hours long when you think about it. So
yeah, but I mean, a lot of that
15 hours, you could do it in 15 episodes.
But so a lot of that is
4 hours of it.
A lot of that scene description and stuff like that. When you take that stuff out, that's just shown to you on screen. Did you just fucking
roll your eyes at me when I said that, by the way? You're like,
no.
Well, yeah, but you got to take out scene description.
No, I certainly would. No, I was definitely just thinking, I was like,
you didn't even roll your eyes at me. That's the funny thing. You just kind of had a face. Calling Tony out.
I always do, but I don't know. I feel like
every time he comes.
I mean, how much stuff did they leave out of Fellowship? Have you read the book?
I've been listening to the audiobook, and there's just scenes, just scenes.
See, I think if they did every single scene, and tried to be as faithful to the book as possible, that would be sick. But I don't know.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Because otherwise, what's the point, really? You're just doing another. Because Peter Jackson changed up a lot.
I mean, and if you do that, it will not even be as good as the Peter Jackson, because nothing's better than a trilogy. A trilogy of films. Nothing is better. Nothing is more iconic. Okay.
What if each book was split into a trilogy of episodes that were each an hour and a half long?
Dun, 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 dun.
It's a 9-episode show, hour and a half each.
I don't know, man.
I don't know. I don't want to
I don't think so.
No?
I think there's going to be more lore. I think there's going to be appendices. That's what I'm hoping. If it's literally
they're going to want to milk that.
If it's literally just someone who's not Ian McKellen playing Gandalf going to the fucking Hobbit and being like, Bilbo. I don't know what you expect.
I know.
I don't know what you're doing. And it's they have $1 billion fucking budget. It's crazy.
Right. I mean, is the cast out for that yet?
I don't even know, man. I truly, Tony, do not even know. But we have basically come close to the end here. This is the end of Welcome Boke. Guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you for sucking my dick. Thank you.
Take it easy, guy.
Take it easy. I'm sorry. You're right. But hey, I'm going to fucking end this. I'm going to probably order food. And then I'm going to continue to watch the show Invincible.
Oh, yeah.
Bro, the part where he fucking just on that guy. Yeah. I mean, Game of Thrones. Let me just say, Game of Thrones level crazy shit.
And then
you watch them all their lives, where they're at in their lives, and you get a little taste of what they do and who they are.
I love when the guy drops down, he grabs his leg and then like just sprays out like a tube of toothpaste, you know?
Bro, he's the strong. We should have talked about this earlier because I didn't want to spoil it, but dude, that guy is the strongest fucker. Like, he's just spearing people with his hand. Like,
yeah, he punches through the face.
Like, dude, the part where her hammer hits his head and his one eye bulges because it's like, it's even that, it has to hurt him because it's like such a heavy hammer. And she just clocks him right on his temple and his like eye bulges out. Like, he's been rocked so much. And the combat, like it's like, it's fucking... It's some action cartoon shit, man.
We'll have to talk about it.
I'm gonna watch like episode. The rest of it, like right now.
Tonight?
Well, there's like 7 apps, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say though, like, because then if our next episode we're doing like next Saturday, it'll be so long that I don't know. Won't be.
I won't finish it. I'll watch probably like 2 or 3, maybe.
Yeah, like spread it out so you can we can talk about it.
Yeah, spread my cheeks. Sorry everybody that we talked about comic books and superheroes the whole episode, but you know what? Suck my fucking dick. That's welcome, Boke. Sometimes that's what we talk about.
Suck my dick.
Suck my dick. How many of you are there? I want to get the exact dick suck count here. 396 subscribers. So basically 400 people. All 400 of you. Suck Johnson. All right? I'm just kidding. We love you very much. You're a cool little clique of peeps that listen. That's chill. I say to that man that is chill. All right. Talk to y'all later. Enjoy the rest of your whatever. What is it? Memorial Day?
Oh shit! I forgot it's a fucking 3-day weekend, and I get off at 2 tomorrow.
Gang. I basically also do.
Very nice.
Anyways. See you guys later. Welcome, Boke. Bye.
Peace.